2-year-old James Leininger woke screaming. His tiny body trembled, sweat soaked his sheets. His parents, Bruce and Andrea, rushed to his side. This was no ordinary nightmare, something haunted their son. Night after night the same scene unfolded. James would bolt upright in bed, eyes wide with terror, crying, "Airplane crash! Plane on fire! Little man can't get out!" His pleas grew more desperate. His parents felt helpless. Their once happy little boy was now consumed by fear. The nightmares were too real, too vivid for a child his age. Bruce, a devout Christian, dismissed the idea of past lives. Andrea, however, felt an unsettling feeling. Could James's nightmares be more than just dreams? Desperate for answers, they consulted doctors, sleep disorders, night terrors, none seemed to fit. The mystery of James's nightmares deepened. As James learned to speak, his nightmares transformed into chillingly specific accounts. He spoke of flying a Corsair, a type of fighter plane. He described being hit by enemy fire. He spoke of a crash landing. He even drew pictures of his plane, labeling it Natoma. One day, James pointed to a toy plane and said, "That's not my plane. My plane got shot down on fire." He spoke of a friend named Jack Larson. He said his name was James, but his pilot name was James III. His parents, though skeptical at first, began to listen. The details were too precise, too unusual for a child so young to invent. They started to wonder, could these be memories from a past life? James's nightmares and daytime pronouncements continued for months. He spoke with an eerie familiarity about dogfights, aircraft carriers, and the Pacific theater of World War II. Bruce and Andrea knew they had to investigate. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, they began researching World War II history. Could there be any truth to James's claims? What they would uncover would shock them to their core. Bruce stumbled upon a book about the Battle of Iwo Jima. His eyes widened as he read about the USS Natoma Bay, an aircraft carrier that had seen heavy action during the war. He learned of a young pilot, James Huston Jr., who had died when his plane crashed after being hit by Japanese anti-aircraft fire. James Huston Jr. flew a Corsair, just like in James's drawings. He was part of a squadron stationed aboard the USS Natoma Bay. He had even flown with a pilot named Jack Larson. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place. Bruce contacted the Natoma Bay Association, a group of veterans who had served on the ship. He shared James's story, recounting the details of his nightmares and pronouncements. The veterans were astonished. James knew things that a child his age simply shouldn't know. He described the layout of the Corsair cockpit with accuracy. He knew about a detail of the plane's engine that was specific to that model. The evidence was becoming difficult to ignore. Bruce and Andrea took James to visit the Iwo Jima Memorial in Washington, D.C. As James stood before the names of the fallen, a profound sense of peace washed over him. His nightmares subsided, replaced by a sense of closure. The story of James Leininger captured the attention of the world. Some dismissed it as an elaborate hoax, a case of overactive imagination. Others saw it as compelling evidence for reincarnation, proof that the soul lives on after death. Whether James's story is a glimpse into a past life or a series of remarkable coincidences, it raises profound questions about the nature of consciousness, memory, and the possibility that we are more than just our physical bodies. It serves as a reminder that some mysteries may forever remain unsolved, leaving us to ponder the vastness of the unknown.